Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to more content on the channel. Today's video, we're gonna play some more Rise crossover. So guys, this solo leveling game just got a brand new update. They've added in a new island, new dungeon, a bunch of other stuff like legendaries, weapons, just a lot of stuff. So hopefully you guys are excited for this video. If you want to continue to see more content on this game, be sure to drop a like on the video, support your boys, show some love. But without further ado, guys, we're gonna dive right into this.
Hey, yeah, I've been laying low and getting to some plays with the bros, cause the pros got a pro with all under control.
Alright guys, so we are in game. We're gonna go ahead and make our way to the brand new island to start things off. Unfortunately, guys, there are no new codes this update, at least as far as I'm aware, right? I didn't see any codes anywhere. But as you guys can see, this little clover icon is the brand new island. It's a Black Clover island. I think they call it Lucky Kingdom or something like that. And alongside it, they also added in a new dungeon for this area as well. I don't know if we'll get lucky enough to actually be able to partake in it, but we'll try our best to, you know, to do it if possible this video. But this is pretty much it. This is the Black Clover island, and this is how it's gonna look like. So we're gonna set our spawn point here just in case. And as you guys can see, they added in a weapon shop right over here. So they've added rarities into, well, I mean, not rarities, but they've readjusted rarities for some of the things in the game, like some of the boats in the game. As you guys can see, we now have rare weapons that we can buy. And I believe that these NPCs actually give you an insane amount of, yeah, they give you an insane amount of cash. It's actually absurd how much cash they're giving us. Look at that. So these guys obviously are E ranks that we're getting right over here. Let's go ahead and take a look. I believe this might be the boss over here. Yeah, the boss only has 126, well, basically 200 and something trillion HP, which is not a lot at all. As you guys can see, we're just shredding the HP bar. And that's with one of my my Beeruses being way under level, because I freshly got him literally just yesterday when we last recorded on this game. But yeah, all in all, I would say if you're no-lifing the Dedu Island raid and you have Beeruses and stuff like that, this update should be, look, there's a new Dedu Island raid that just started, so we might as well just get that done before we continue with the content on this update. All right, this man is cooking, twin. I ain't gonna hold you. What the hell is this? Yo, nah, this guy's going crazy. Whole squad of Berus, excuse me. Crazy. Okay, so we just got an ant queen. I literally keep getting ant queens, but Berus, I mean, I'm not gonna say they're few and far in between, because, you know, we have a couple of them, but I don't know. Hopefully we can get lucky with the Beru as well over here and arise him too, because we keep getting more ant queens than anything as of late. All right, guys, we are about to defeat the ant king here, and we did not get lucky with being able to arise him. Very unfortunate. No freaking way. What the hell? Yo, I just checked. Whoa, bro. A double S rank ant queen? How come I didn't realize that sooner? Dude, how come I did not realize that? Yo, I didn't even have this other Beru locked, excuse me. But yeah, I don't know how I didn't realize that sooner. Bro, we got a double S rank ant queen. All right, I'm very happy with that. So yeah, I was literally running around trying to see if I can get another S rank ant soldier, which we did. As you guys can see, we got an S rank ant soldier. So now I just need some D and E ranks. Matter of fact, I probably should go, well, not really, it doesn't matter now. I was gonna say I probably should go back there to try to get it, but my Sakura is actually stronger than the ant soldier, so it's not worth it for me to get another ant soldier. Oh, actually, Mihawk is not as good. Yeah, let me go do that real quick. Give me a second, chat, and then we'll continue with the update. Actually, while I'm going over there, let me talk about skins. So if you guys see, when you open up your shadows inventory now, you'll have a skins tab. Okay, so you'll be able to select a shadow, let's say Beru, and then you can choose a skin of like another shadow, I would assume, and then you can set the skin. So I'm not sure exactly why you would want to do that, but I mean, hey, if you want to, like, I guess, fool people and confuse them and stuff like that, you can definitely do that. So yeah, but by the way, how I ended up getting that S rank ant soldier, for those noobs that are watching this video, is that I was running around to try to see which one of these ant soldiers had like a trillion in HP. So you see, some of them have million, some of them have a couple 100,000, some of them have billions. The ones that have trillions of HP are the ones that are actually going to give you the possibility of arising an S rank, an S rank shadow, excuse me. So that's literally all I was doing. You just want to go around, try to see which one is going to be an S rank. or well, have trillions in HP, and then kill the one that has trillions in HP, and you should get a good possibility of getting an S rank shadow from that. So that's what I was doing, and that's what you should do as well. If you're a noob and you are trying to get stronger quickly, just try to get a full team of double S rank ant soldiers, and that should help you a lot. So as I'm flying back to solo leveling city, or leveling city, whatever you want to call it, another new thing they've added this update is a brand new mount. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'll try to figure it out and show you guys hopefully later into the video. But, oh, and take a look at this. They added a coming soon thing to this tower here. What the heck? Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't think there was any mention of this in the Discord server, so look at that, chat. Right in the smack center of leveling city. So yeah, I'll try to show you guys that new mount hopefully possibly later into the video. So we're gonna go into, not enchants, my bad. We're gonna go into shadow upgrader here, and we are going to start selecting some ant soldiers here. So here's another bit of good news. So remember, guys, there you go. So remember how in the last video I've made the lamentable mistake of, like, for example, filtering out my ant soldiers or some other like lower tiered enemies, and I was like, oh, you know what, I want to sell these, but I don't want to manually click them. So I literally clicked select all, sell selected, and it literally sold everything. Not everything here, it literally sold everything in my inventory that I had unlocked. Pyda managed to see that. Shout out to my boy Pyda. Thank you so much, Pyda. And he actually implemented into this update the capability for you to filter. Let's say if you had a bunch of blossoms and you want to get rid of all of them, you can now click the sell button, select all, and it'll literally just sell whatever you're seeing on your screen via that filter. So that's a really big update in my opinion. Some of you guys might not see that as like vital, but to be honest, if you have a lot of inventory space, it's a huge, tremendous time saver. So that's really good. By the way, let's take a moment to, you know, recognize that we finally have a full double S rank legendary, well, not legendary, but it's a full double S rank shadow team. Okay, so I'm really glad that we finally have one. The goal now is to try to grind, you know, for the additional battles so we can have a full team of battles. That would be amazing, but so far so good. So also on the topic of this weapon shop over here, you obviously cannot see it in here, but they've added in a new weapon rarity, which is legendary. So yes, you heard it right, guys. You can now have legendary rarity weapons in the game, and we'll, you know, touch more on that in just a second here. But if we go into our index now, with the Lucky Kingdom, we have a total of 4 new shadows that we can arise. So if you're a completionist, you already know what you got to do, as they say. I don't know if the scaling for these units is going to be better than what Beru is right now at double S, but we will go ahead and find that out. Obviously, if I show you guys the index system again, the best unit here via this dungeon is just an epic rarity, so it's not a legendary, so you won't be able to get a G rank like you would for Beru. But nonetheless, we will go ahead and complete this index real quick, and I'll let you guys know just how much damage these units are going to be doing at double S rank, because that's the most important thing really right now. So while I'm trying to get these units to fill out this index real quick, I want to let you guys know that you can also now edit your your shadows names in your inventory. So if you wanted to name this guy Mr. Swole Ant or something, like, as you guys can see, you can do that. So you can literally rename all of your shadows to whatever you would like to name them, which is another layer of customability that, you know, would go a long way for immersion, if you will. So as you guys can see with our index, we literally have almost everything with the exception of the dungeon boss, which we have to get really lucky with to be able to get to. I think eventually they're gonna have to try to establish maybe a hybrid system for doing dungeons, to where maybe you would be able to open up gates yourself artificially, but at a lower chance of getting whatever. I don't know. They have to come up with a hybrid system, because imagine, you know, eventually they're going to have like 20 different islands in the game. Just imagine as the system every 30 minutes is trying to spit out a random dungeon for you to get the dungeon that you actually really need in order to keep progressing into the game. You know what I mean? So I think that they definitely have to establish some sort of like hybrid system, or some alternative to being able to do what you really want to do and being able to progress, right? Because even if we are able to choose whatever dungeon we want to choose, it does not guarantee us that we will get, you know, the item or shadows that we really want, right? But anyways, if you guys happen to go inside of the little like kingdom thing that they have down over here, there's not really much. As you can see, they have like a luck in here and stuff like that, but yeah, there's not really much we can do as far as like filling out, the index system. However, we can check this out. So we can go into the Lucky Kingdom, double type, type double S for Uno, for example. will max him out. 225, he does 155 billion. So we can't check to see how much this boss is going to do, but if you know at double S does 155 billion, it would be safe to assume that, you know, the actual boss from the dungeon has to do in excess of 200 billion. So you guys can understand what I'm trying to go with by the comparison. For example, the Light Admiral, double S rank, 58 billion, and then we have Mihawk at double S max level, 176 billion. So it's like triple the amount of damage. If that were to be the case here, then it's safe to assume that this boss will be doing near 400 billion damage. Okay, so just wanted to point that out, guys. It does seem that this new dungeon is going to be worthwhile to run. It's just a matter of whether or not if you're gonna get lucky to get that new double S rank. Also, guys, just a quick update on the weapons and stuff like that. I'm trying to get some cash so we can hopefully buy the max level weapon from this area. But yeah, so the new legendary tier weapon that you can get is actually a drop from the new dungeon and stuff like that. And like I said, it's all gonna be luck based now because we have so many different islands and stuff for this dungeon to actually spawn and for you to get a chance to get it. Much more beyond that, just given off the fact it's all RNG related, right? But word on the street is that it's really freaking OP. So what I mean by that is that weapons got like an inherent buff, as you guys can see. Some of these weapons do way more damage than before, but that new legendary tier weapon, I think it does like in the billions, bro, from what I've heard in the Discord server. So yeah, that is a really good weapon. That's gonna put your weapon damage up there with like some of the best shadows in the game, you know? And obviously you can see with the twin tridents over here, that's just a rare. This does 2.11 billion damage. Just imagine what you're gonna be doing with that legendary weapon, like I told you guys. So like I said, weapons are making a comeback, a strong comeback in my opinion, because they were not that really useful for like the past couple of updates, but now they're gonna be useful. Now it's really gonna matter for you to auto click and be up on enemies and damage them, you know? So with that being said, with the boat shop over here, they added in a brand new boat. As you can see, some of the items or boats in the game got different rarities, like I mentioned earlier into the video. So the little goat is an uncommon, the pirate ship is uncommon, and the striker boat, like I said, is the brand new boat, which is the highest rarity as it is right now. I don't quote me on that. I think the boat in the bleach area might be it, because I think that one's like epic or something. But we'll go ahead and buy this, and we'll go into Mount Tier Aquatic, and we'll go ahead and equip it. So this striker boat is a higher rarity than the pirate ship, but for some reason the pirate ship is faster than it. Doesn't really make too much sense, but I'll take it. Okay, so with that being said, let me go ahead and buy the boat on Bleach Island so I can show you guys how that stacks up against this. But this is it. This is the brand new boat. Looks pretty cool, right? All right, fellas, here we go. No, actually, the pirate ship was the epic rarity boat from before that I mentioned. So, by the way, I also wanted to clarify that the boat is the new mount, because earlier I mentioned there was a new mount, and then I talked about the boat. I don't know if I told you guys that the boat is the mount, right? As far as I'm aware, you know what I mean? That is the new mount. So, by the way, I also wanted to mention with the mounts, right? With the boat, still on the topic of the boat. You see how the speed is 195 and the speed for the pirate ship is 200. I forgot to mention that, you know, with the pirate ship, we have acceleration with it. You know what I mean? The pirate ship has to build up to that max speed. Whereas with the striker boat, it just goes at 195. So I feel like that's the duality of it as to why it's like a, like slightly less max speed, but it's faster overall, blah, blah, blah type of thing. That's why it's a higher rarity. Also, Pyta just announced this in the Discord server, but apparently, like, once you rename, like, Mr. Swole Ant, for example, right? The name of my my ant soldier over here. Once you rename your pet, these names are only visible to you, so other people will not be able to see whatever custom name you have for your shadow soldiers or shadows in general. All right, chat. So another Dedu Island raid just started. We're gonna see if we can get lucky and get another Beru. I also don't think I showed you guys what the Ant Queen does at double S rank maxed out. So she does 89 billion damage at double S rank. So obviously nowhere near what Beru is at 220 something billion damage, but it still fills the void, right? We still don't have units or shadows that do those type of numbers and damage. So in the meantime, you know, the Ant Queen does her thing, if you will. All right, guys, we just killed off Beru, and unfortunately, no shadow. What an unfortunate turn of events.